Okay, so the first thing I would like to show you is what I've done to my game. So let's close out of my saucer chute, and I will show you how to get in here from scratch. First, we go into our File Explorer, go to where the game is currently located, select it, go inside of the VS2022, and scroll down to where the game is called saucerchute.sln. Double-clicking this opens up Virtual Studio. After a brief period of loading, Virtual Studio will open. After Virtual Studio has fully opened, to complete and compile running the code, you will go up here and click below the Window tab, this green arrow, to start without debugging, since there's no debugging needed. Still works just like before. However, this time there are multiple different enemy types. After an enemy takes a number of damage, hit down and go to its corresponding. The saucers still work the same way as before. Any of them falling into you will detonate them and still give you points. The thing to note is different saucers will give you different point values. Say this magenta one in the front. This one will give me 30 points. The blue one, will give me 20 points. The saucers will still be able to move the same way as all other saucers. They all spawn directly the same, and after they move to the other side of the screen, the new saucer will spawn and take its place. The other thing to note is that using the nuke on different colors of them will only give you 10 points each. 10 points are allowed to be given for each destroyed saucer to make it that killing multiple of good saucers don't give you increased point values. Let's show you what the code looks like. So first, I've manipulated the code a bit within specifically saucer and bullet. Within the bullet code, I have added a new Boolean value called has dealt damage. There was something that was a little funky with how the bullets were capable of checking the hit collisions, so I needed to have a way that the bullets would only register one singular time, and after they do, they wouldn't deal any more damage. So after this is preset to be false. I as well, within this bullet hit, will delete the saucer in the edge case of a reverse scenario that is being done in saucer, but that I will get to in just a second. All this function will do is, all it at least does now, is specify exactly which type of object it needs to delete and destroys the other. As you can see for this one, the object 1, if object 1 is the saucer, it will specifically only delete the bullet. Same vice versa for this if statement, that this should only delete the bullet. Inside of our saucer class, we have created a new int value, two new int values called health and hits taken. Health is generated at the top of the constructor, where each saucer will get a certain number of health. The green, cyan, and magenta saucers are all randomly selected of what to spawn. After the color has been chosen, the correct health value will be implemented. As well, hits taken decides how many points eventually a saucer will take. This, for every saucer, will always begin at 1. Inside of our hit function here, we've now changed that for inside of specifically the bullet scenario. This if statement has not changed. It still will determine which bullet we are currently on, if it's object 1 or object 2. After it decides which object is the bullet, it will specify specifically that bullet to be deleted. Then it will check if the saucer has been dealt damage. That is what this helper function does, give hit check, which is currently located below at the bottom of the bullet CPP. These two functions are just helper functions. All this one will do is give what the current Boolean value of has dealt damage is, and this one sets it to true, since there's no reason to set it back to false. After the bullet is then taken and marked for deletion, it will now check inside of that bullet if it is false. If the bullet has not dealt damage yet, it will set that to true now that it has dealt damage, and now check the health totals. If the health of the saucer is greater than 1, meaning it is a magenta or cyan saucer, it will manipulate the health by down 1, and then decide which saucer to set the sprite to accordingly, going from cyan down to green. It will as well increase the hit taken by 1. Else, meaning that the saucer is at a green leveled saucer and hasn't taken damage yet, means that now both the bullet and the saucer will be marked for deletion. Hits taken will increase 1 last time, and the explosion in new saucer will be created. This exact same thing will happen within the other case, where instead of object 1 being gotten, it'll be object 2. The only other thing that I have manipulated as well is inside of the saucer deconstructor to manipulate the point values. Inside of our saucer deconstructor, I've now made it that instead of the 10 points as before, it will now be multiplied by the number of hits taken minus 1. Meaning that since every saucer will always be hit at least once, even if it is just one singular green saucer, this number will always get added at least one time, ergo the minus 1 that's listed here. And that should be everything that you would need to see, at least I'm fairly sure. Yep. Thanks for watching.